Hey guys, Shane O'Neill here with Proven Ministries. Wanted to bring you up to speed on the world of Kanye West. If you're listening to this video, then you probably know who Kanye is. He's a rap musician who's sold over 100 million albums worldwide. And if you've listened to his lyrics, then you know that they're pretty saturated with everything that hookup and porn culture has to offer. With lines like, "You're an effing hoe and I love it. I love it." Besides the fact that my musical abilities are nearly comparable to Kanye's, the album with those lyrics in it, it didn't take very long for that album to climb to #1 on the music charts. But recently, Kanye has been rather honest about his porn addiction and sex addiction, which is a remarkably vulnerable thing to do. For context, a few years ago, Kanye was on Jimmy Kimmel's show, and in a recent album that he had released, at that point, he was talking about his daughter and how scared he is for his daughter to one day be objectified and be viewed by men in a sexualized way. So Kimmel asked him the question, has having daughters changed the way that you view women? To which Kanye pauses and then says, nah, I still watch Pornhub, to the amusement of Kimmel and the audience, who didn't miss the irony of that statement, even if Kanye did.
Do you feel like your attitude towards women has changed since having daughters?
Nah, I still look at Pornhub and...
Now flash forward 2 years and Kanye is seeing the deep impact that pornography has had on all the areas of his life. Like so many of us, Kanye was exposed to porn when he was very young. As he puts it, for me, Playboy was my gateway into full-on pornography addiction. My dad had a Playboy left out at age 5, and it's affected almost every choice I've made for the rest of my life. From age 5 till now, having to kick the habit. And it represents itself in the open like it's okay, and I stand up and say, no, it's not okay. As Kanye communicates it, that first experience with pornography has colored everything else in his life since then, whether that be his relationships, his loves, his longings, even his billion-dollar clothing industry. The influence of porn and his sex addiction has been behind everything from his mistakes, his motives, his lyrics, even his relationships. It's cool to see Kanye go after this addiction, his own personal addiction, but also the impact that it's had on our culture. And it's cool to see him catch on to the irony of being concerned about how men might one day objectify his own daughters while at the same time doing that very thing through pornography. And so, yeah, Kanye is catching on to this influence, this widespread influence that started when he was just a child, and it's impacted every area of his life. He's endeavoring to see women rightly, to dignify them, to dignify the people around him, and to actively go after the porn in his life, as well as in his relationships. Porn might be something we do in private, but whether we're Kanye West or just people like you and I, it impacts us. It impacts us in private, but the things we do in private end up coming into our public motives, our relationships, even our imagination. And it frames the way that we engage life and, well, all of our longings from there. We can see this, again, in our lives as well as in Kanye's. And him stepping out and just being vulnerable about this content is super, super rad. Because at the end of the day, porn culture does exploit people. It exploits us and exploits the people that are important to us, the people that are around us. It exploits our imagination and the dignity that we have just as human beings. So at a basic level, it's just really cool to see culture catching on to the devastation of pornography, and it's just helpful for us because it impacts us in the day in and day out. And so to take it at a cultural level and to bring it down to a personal level, and then for Kanye to invite us into that personal level, it's just helpful. So guys, thanks for tracking with us. Thanks for watching this video. The interviews that I mentioned will be plugged down below. Continue just to track with us. We'll be coming out with regular content on culture and sexuality. So if you haven't subscribed, if you like this video, go ahead and click the like button. And as you subscribe, hit the bell to continue just to bring you regular updates on what's going on and what we're doing. We also recently did a video with Teresa Hesh. Her husband had a porn addiction, a really significant porn addiction, to the extent that he tried to sleep with a close friend of hers. We recently got to interview her. It's an incredible interview. Very brave woman. I'd encourage you to check that out. We'll also have that below. Thanks for tracking with us. It's been great to be with you.